everyone, I'm Aviat Cohen at AV Master, and today we have the honor of having Ariel Marcus, CTO at MSOLUTIONS. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
That's great. Ariel, last time we spoke, you had the MS Tester Pro, which is next to you right now. And we have now the latest edition, the module expansion, or as you call it, the HDMI cable tester, or as the HCT stands short, that you wanted to present to us today. So could you elaborate
Yes.
a little bit about it?
Yes. So, as you mentioned, we have the MS Test Pro, which is an HD-based tester that probably most of you are familiar with. It's a modular unit. So we took the advantage of having it modular, and we added an HDMI cable tester. You see this module? You can get one of those modules, plug it into the tester, and automatically the software will recognize it, and you will have the ability to test HDMI cable.
So
This
it's
tester
basically a plug and play expansion. Nothing needed to be done on the interface
configuration
side or
side.
software. Nothing. So just plug it in. That's it.
Plug it in, power on the tester, and you will get the appropriate user interface.
Cool. So
So
next question. You
yeah,
built an HCT module. Why would I need to test my HDMI cables?
okay. So actually, with the growing demand for bandwidth on HDMI, there is a lack of information about the structure and what are the capabilities of the HDMI cables. Today, we know that in order to reduce cost with HDMI cables, manufacturers are reducing the quality of the copper inside the cable. We have 19 wires, six of them are twisted pairs for the data, and additional one for the clock of the video. Those need to be in perfect level, let's say it this way. And today, you don't know if those are actually done in appropriate way. We came here to provide, to enlarge, let's say this way, the knowledge and the understanding of HDMI cables. The common testing that is available today is a pattern generators. You take the cable, plug it to the input of the HDMI, and there is an output port of HDMI. You run the pattern, you see the error wave. If it's zero, everybody is happy and the cable is moving on. But we need to remember that we're talking about copper. Copper is not measured only on a short run. When we are talking about long run, we are talking about a 24/7 run of HDMI streaming, and we need to make sure that artifacts inside the cable will be able to hold the information. In addition, there is a growing demand for bandwidth on HDMI. We're talking about HDMI 1.4 that we started with, and we are moving to HDMI 2.0, and the sky is the limit. At the same time, we're going with different resolution. We started with the full HD at 1080p, and we're moving to a 4K, which is a 4:0, which is supporting up to 300 megapixel clock rate. And now we're moving even to 8K. 8K resolution require additional bandwidth on the HDMI cable. So we need to come up with something that will be able to measure and verify that on the long run, those cables will be able to carry the signal.
Or simply put, we need more bandwidth. Actually, I keep forgetting that from time to time that, resolutions are translated into bandwidth and vice versa. And we take it for granted that whatever cable that we bought has a nice casing, it's thick, probably should work. But sometimes it doesn't really work, and we tend to blame either the extension unit or the TV or the transmitter or whatnot. Sometimes it's just the cable that is faulty, so we might end up replacing it one by one. So what you're doing is you're allowing us to gain visibility inside that cable to know exactly what's going on. And you
Okay.
mentioned before the graphic user interface that is displayed on the tester. And if you can share that and show us how it looks, that would be
This
great.
is what we're seeing now is actually the outcome, the results that are coming out when we're testing an HDMI cable. We can see that we're not focused on resolutions. We're actually focused on bandwidth. We can see the 18 gig of the 4K Ultra HD, let's call it this way. We can see if it passes a 4K of 300 megapixels, which is actually the limit for the HD-based, and we can see if it goes for the 1080p, the full HD. At the same time, we know to detect if all the wires exist inside the cable, and we're able to detect if the shielding, for example, is not shorted between twisted pairs. We've seen a lot of manufacturers that in order to increase the ability, the immunity from interference that will come to the cable on a high bandwidth, what they're doing is actually they are shorting between the twisted pair shields and the GND running inside the cable. There are cases that this is good, but there are cases that this is bad. It can influence the quality of the signal. At the same time, we're seeing a lot of other manufacturers that are taking also those and short them to the shield of the cable. This is actually generating the opposite from what they're expecting. They are actually injecting noise directly to the TMDS, to the video lines. So we're providing a visibility on the physical layer of the cable and the ability of this cable to carry the signal, which
So
is
you're
quite
actually,
different.
this is actually empowering the customer or the systems integrator or the service provider with the ability to provide perfect service at the time of delivery or while maintenance, and telling them, we know 100%. Here's the generated report from our visit, and this is here a statement that what you have installed is working perfectly. Everything is aligned correctly. No
Yes,
unneeded ground being tempered with. And this is
exactly.
the date where we left. And I know that you can generate reports from your tester unit, and you can also
Yeah. What
generate test patterns to show and validate that everything is 100%, and bring the either the project or the maintenance to perfection.
what we actually done, what we did is enlarging the coverage of testing for the installers and integrators. Means you can test with the tester, you can test the HD-based, the infrastructure for the HD-based. You can drill down to the second layer of HDMI's cable and verify them. We can verify both in the physical layer of the and the quality of the cables. At the same time, the HD-based tester, the MS Test Pro, contain also an integrated pattern generator that can be used also in order to inject a real 4K into the installation and to verify the setup. So actually what we've done, we enlarge the coverage for installer and integrator, and we provide a solution that tests end to end, from the set-top box, for example, directly to the display. They can test every part in this ring.
So you've created your own Swiss Army knife to allow coverage of all possible testing for any AV installation. Here's a curveball for you, Ariel. 8K just came out for one of the largest consumer monitors out there today, and prices are very reasonable. So I believe we might test that. And so you guys have a new challenge, Matt. Get ready for the 8K coming up, and we will be sure to review that and catch up with you on that as well.
Definitely, the 8K cables are being tested now. I can share with you that the big integrators have already tested with this tester for the different bandwidths, and they were able to understand the importance of verifying the cables. A lot of time they've seen failures on installation that occurred from time to time. The easiest way was to blame the HDBaseT or the IP network, but when we're taking the resolution one step, drilling down and checking also the HDMI, they found out that the HDMI actually is the one to be blamed. It was injecting noise to the HDBaseT transmitter, and as a result, it created video drops on the HDBaseT, but it wasn't the HDBaseT. It wasn't the HDBaseT the one to be blamed. So definitely, I can tell you that it was tested with the biggest integrators, and it was proven to be good.
Ariel Marcus, CTO at M Solutions, keep on bringing the good stuff, keep on reinventing everything, keep bringing everything forward. Thank you very much for being with us today, and we will be seeing you soon.
Thank you, Aviad, for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.